All right, so we've got some questions that, as we think through these concepts that we've heard from the Marketing for Founders community. So, one of the common questions that I know you get, Adam, is how do you organize all of these steps so that you can actually manage your time effectively?
Yeah, so I and all the founders at Marketing for Founders use Notion. It's part of the program. So what we do is create a 5 section Notion doc that has just very plainly written out exactly what needs to be accomplished to achieve that main goal. For example, we have a founder currently launching an outbound messaging campaign on LinkedIn. They want to get 2 customers from LinkedIn in the next month by just sending messages. So we very simply took a Notion doc, wrote getting to the title of the Notion doc is Get Two New Customers from LinkedIn in the Next 30 Days. The first step under that is nailing the audience. So we really nailed, okay, who is it that we're reaching out to? They're reaching out to influencers, and they're influencers who are just getting started with their business. And then we talked about what kind of business it is. Well, they're single person businesses, maybe 2 people if they have a content creator that's helping them. So we have a really good audience. We know that their pain point is that they're having a hard time finding new products to get money from. And then the next section is to build out the metrics that we can actually affect and how we think that they're going to work. So in order to get two, we assumed that we had to get at least 5 or 6 people into a sales call. And you get 5 or 6 people into a sales call, we thought we were going to have to message about 100 people. The only metric that could be immediately affected there is the number of people that we were reaching out to. Everything after that is a consequence of the value of the copy and how good everything else is. But you can't force other people to respond to you. So we just focus on the things that we can control. Then we build out the step by step pieces of what we actually need to do to message 100 people. For this, it was pretty simple. It was find the 100 people that we want. So for us, it was using Sales Navigator to pick 100 people that match our company and user profiles. I have a video on my YouTube channel about how to do that. You can check it out. And you can be as broad with that as you like or as detailed as you like. It's up to you and you know what your skill set is. But I even tell people to Google something if you need help with it. And finally, in that doc, just have all the assets that you need, which in this situation just include the list of 100 people they're going to reach out to, and then the copy for the messaging that you're going to send out.
So, again, very clearly organized. And it sounds like process
Mhm.
documentation so that you know this is exactly what I need to do every single time. So you can take a lot of the guesswork out of it.
Yeah,
If people,
exactly. You definitely want to take everything out so that when you're actually executing on this, there's no question about what's happening. So you want to make sure every question is answered, that when you do this, you're ready to go so that you can just launch it in an afternoon once you're ready to actually go ahead and do it.
if people aren't doing this currently, how are they trying to generate business without this detailed document for planning?
Yeah, what I've seen oftentimes from the founders who come to us and ask like, this isn't working. I say, do you have a process built out? And they say no. Kind of going back to something we talked about in a previous episode, which is they just kind of start doing stuff. So if they think, okay, I'm going to go talk to 100 people on LinkedIn, or I need to get 2 customers from LinkedIn, they just start messaging people who they think might be a good fit for them. They don't have a full blown list out. So what ends up happening is that you don't have a coherent message and a clear call to action, among tons of other things here that you want to make sure that you are doing. If you don't have those things, you're going to spend way more time on something and you're not going to get the same results. You'll probably, miss on your messaging, or your list isn't going to be as good. There's a lot of things that can go wrong if you're basically just doing it off the cuff.
And it really sounds like one piece that's very critical here is actually finding the right people to go
Mhm.
after. So,
Yep.
how do you recommend people find the right audience?
We're going to talk a little bit more about how to find your audience in the next episode.